My. Here we go again. Here we go again. Politicians trying to control the bodies of women. Now, this is not about abortion. This is about controlling women's bodies. There is a war on women. In fact, sign me up, because I'm going to battle. And if there was a window in this room, you know what I would be doing? I'd put my head out the window and I would be screaming, I can't take it anymore. And I'm going to tell you what, the women in this country are not going to take it anymore. Politicians trying to control our bodies, not only here in this country, but now around the world, with dramatic consequences. And I'm going to say politely, I hope they're unintended consequences. Right? I'm signing Norma up too. Thank you, Representative. Since 1973, the Helms Amendment has restricted U.S. foreign assistance for abortion. That's a fact. I don't agree with it, but it's a fact. We've lived with it. And now we had the Global Gag Rule, which prohibited foreign organizations from getting money to do health care. This was in family planning, and now it's been expanded. Now it's on steroids. The Trump administration has put the gag rule on steroids, and now billions of dollars of health care funds are being affected here. I don't even call it the choke. I don't call it the gag rule. I call it the choke rule. This is the global choke rule because it's going to lead to more morbidity and more deaths. And I know this is not what my colleagues on the other side of the aisle intend, so I hope you really think about it. I'm going to talk about Celeste. She's a 31-year-old mother of two living in Mozambique. She lost her husband from AIDS. She found a clinic that was run by the Association for Family Development, and she discovered she was HIV positive. And the clinic gave her medication to stay healthy. If it wasn't for those visits, she wouldn't be alive today, and who would be taking care of her children? But here's what's happened. This association that ran this clinic has now lost their U.S. funding. They've shut down 90 clinics, including the one where Celeste went to. Now, where do you want her to go? Where should she go just for primary health care? She's out. She's out of luck. And let me just say something. There was some mention about foreign aid and so forth. Let me tell you something. Disrupting U.S. aid for global health would be a huge mistake. It would make the world a scarier place for Americans. It would lead to greater risk of deadly infectious diseases for us. It would diminish U.S. economic opportunities and loss of influence. And at the same time, millions of people around the world are going to suffer needlessly. So I think, Representative Lee, you mentioned some statistics. I'm not going to go over all of them again, but I think you've said 225 million women in developing countries want to prevent or delay pregnancy, according to the World Health Organization. And yet they don't have access to contraception. Let me ask you something. When you have access to contraception, doesn't that prevent abortion? Yes. Does it? I thought so. I learned that. Yeah, I think so. So I don't understand where my friends are coming from. Maurice Stopes International, a leading healthcare provider, estimates it will lose $100 million in U.S. funding, leading to, listen to this, I don't really like statistics, but I'm going to give them anyway, leading to 20,000 maternal deaths, 4.8 million unintended pregnancies, and 1.7 million unsafe abortions. That's just from the loss of funding from that one organization. And I just say to people out here, don't you want our children to be loved and wanted and cared for? I think we all agree with that. So I'm going to end by saying this. This amendment does more than just gag health care providers. It will kill and maim millions of women around the world, and we should defeat it. I yield back.